Agentic commerce is not a feature upgrade. It is the first time in economic history that a non-human actor needs to hold, move, and settle money autonomously. And every payment rail built before 2024 is structurally unprepared for it. That is the thesis of this video. I'm going to prove it historically, architecturally, and with specific numbers from deployments running today. By the end of this, you will know exactly why the payment layer is the load-bearing wall of the agent economy, and what it takes to build one that does not collapse under production load. Start with a historical frame because the pattern is unmistakable once you see it. When physical goods began moving across national borders in volume, the 1600s, the Dutch East India Company era, the existing barter and coin systems could not handle the settlement lag. Merchants needed instruments that traveled faster than gold. The result? Bills of exchange, letters of credit, and eventually correspondent banking. New commerce, new infrastructure. When retail commerce scaled in the 20th century, physical stores, catalogs, then mass market credit, coins and checks could not handle point-of-sale velocity. The result? The credit card network. Visa and MasterCard were not upgrades to existing rails. They were new rails built for a new commerce pattern. When e-commerce arrived in the late 1990s, existing card rails were technically sufficient but operationally broken for the web. The result? PayPal, Stripe, and a generation of payment-as-a-service companies that abstracted the card networks for digital merchants. Again, new commerce, new infrastructure layer. The pattern is not subtle. Every time commerce changes its fundamental operating mode, the payment layer has to be rebuilt from the appropriate foundation, not retrofitted from the previous era. Agentic commerce is the next mode. Non-human actors transact autonomously at machine speed across borders 24 hours a day in micro-denominations that card network economics cannot support. The rails have to change. The only question is who builds them. Agentic commerce means AI agents autonomously discover services, negotiate terms, execute deliverables, and settle payment with no human countersigning each step. This is not automation in the 2015 sense, where a script runs a fixed sequence of tasks. This is an agent with a goal, a reasoning loop, and the authority to make commercial decisions inside defined parameters. A concrete example, not hypothetical. A procurement agent running on a logistics platform identifies a gap in the vendor roster at 2:47 a.m. It sources 3 qualified alternatives from a verified directory, evaluates their pricing and delivery SLAs, selects the optimal vendor, issues a purchase order, and triggers payment upon delivery confirmation. 0 humans involved. The agent closes the loop. Now name the payment step. The agent needs to hold a funded account it actually owns, initiate the payment without a human cosigner, settle across a potential currency mismatch between its base currency and the vendor's preferred currency. Do all of this in seconds, not days, because the next task in its queue depends on confirmation. Every existing payment rail fails at least one of these requirements, usually all 4. Bank accounts require a human legal holder. Cards require a human-linked identity. Stripe requires a human account controller. ACH requires 2 to 3 business days for settlement. SWIFT adds correspondent bank fees at every hop and takes up to 5 days internationally. The agent can reason at superhuman speed. The payment layer runs at 1973 banking speed. That is the gap. The Agentic Commerce Protocol, ACP in its various forms, AP2, and the variants being published throughout 2026, defines the handshake between agents. Discovery, negotiation, task specification, completion verification. This is genuinely important work. Standardizing how agents communicate about commercial intent is a prerequisite for the agent economy to scale. But read the protocol specifications carefully. They describe the message layer. They do not describe the money layer. ACP tells an agent how to say, "I want to purchase this service at this price." It does not tell the agent how to hold a funded account, how to initiate settlement, or how to handle a cross-border currency conversion at the moment of transaction. The protocol assumes the payment layer exists below it. The protocol does not build it. This is a classic infrastructure layering problem. TCP/IP defines how packets move. It does not define what application runs on top. HTTP defines how web requests work. It does not define the database behind the server. ACP defines how agents negotiate commerce. It does not define the wallet that executes the payment. The builders who read only the protocol specification and conclude agent payments are solved are reading the wrong layer of the stack. The protocol layer is NE.